YouTube, Dark Magician of Team Sorcerers here, and welcome back to What If Wednesday, and it's another one involving Jaden. And this is another suggestion by Dark Magic Couple 1985. What if Jaden defeated Yubel for good in their final duel against each other, instead of fusing her spirit with his own at the end of Season 3? Well, this would change a few things for Season 4, I would feel like. But I feel like the only way this could be done is with Neos Wise Man. I wanted to double check whether or not the anime version specifically required Yubel or a Yubel monster, but it says one Yubel monster. So basically, when Jaden activates Spiritual Fusion, he would choose Neos plus Yubel the Ultimate Nightmare and fuse them together, make Neos Wise Man. And since Yubel doesn't seem to have any further plays, considering it seemed that she was drawing loads of bricks, despite having Yubel Terror Incarnate and Yubel Ultimate Nightmare, she either just surrenders or just ends her turn, and then Jaden attacks the game with Neos Wise Man. Now I don't know if Yubel would be sent to the stars or not. Maybe she would. I was gonna say I guess not, because of the result of the duel between Jaden and Yubel Jesse, but that ended in a draw, which suggests that in that world, if a duel ends in a draw, nobody gets sent to the stars. So I guess with this, Jaden would find a way home, despite, although he would then feel a lot of guilt after, fully understanding the whole thing that happened with Yubel and that whole misunderstanding where she thought she was abandoned. But obviously with Yubel not in the picture, some things would change for Jaden. He wouldn't have those enhanced powers granted by having Yubel's soul and spirit inside him. But I feel like he'd still find ways to get out of trouble all the same. Just because of plot convenience. But other than that, I'm not sure how much would change. Although maybe he would be fooled a bit more easily by Yusuke sort of being controlled by Night Shroud, making everyone believe they'd known each other for a while. But then again, Jaden might seem a little bit unsure, but maybe would just brush it off until things go down a lot later on. And then then when it comes to the final showdown with Night Shroud and he ends up feeling alone, Yubel isn't there. But then again, I guess the spirit of Win Karibo and Neos would come up instead. Hey Socks, you want to be in the video? Or do you just want to look out the window? Or do you just want to cuddle? Yeah, you want to cuddle? Okay. But yeah, the spirits of Neos, Wing Kariba, and the Neospatians would still be with Jaden. I mean, Night Shroud would still maybe try and use that darkness card to separate one of the spirits. But then again, would there be much point? And who would he choose? He can't choose Neos, because Neos is already on the field, so he'd have to special summon either Win Karibo or one of the Neospatians. And the most likely choice would probably be Grand Mole, because it's just the best one. And then he sees that Grand Mole can bounce both it and an opposing monster back to hand, so then he'd try and do that to bounce Neos off the field, but Jaden is able to use Astral Barrier to change the attack into a direct attack, and then draw a card. Oh, now Socks is licking my hand. But then he'd end up being on lower life points again. Wait, no, it's Astral Shift, not Astral Barrier. Yeah, the one that changes an attack into a direct attack, and then he draws a card. But then, how would he get Grand Mole back? How would he be able to get past Grand Mole? Because he can't use Super Poly to fuse Neos and Grand Mole together to make Grand Neos, since that can only be summoned through a contact fusion. So, what other way would he do it? That's a tricky one. I feel like he would need Mirror Gates plus another elemental hero monster, so that way control can switch, but then again that wouldn't really work, because Darkness would try and have Grand Mole attack Neos again, and then Neos would end up on his side of the field. But even then, it still kind of works out, because then Jaden would get both Neos and Grand Mole back in his hand, since they're Jaden's cards and they can't physically go to Darkness's hand. Then again, maybe thinking about it, maybe Mirror Gate can be there instead of Astral Shift. And then I don't know what Jaden would do afterwards. But But then again, maybe Jaden would still try and get out Neo's wise man. Because, yeah, I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner, because Jaden would probably have Yubel, as in the card, back in his possession, and keep a hold of it like as a memento. In fact, then again, maybe Yubel's spirit can actually come back this way, or maybe it does come about anyway, because obviously after the final clash with Jaden and Yubel, everyone that got sent to the stars ends up coming back anyway. So then it would create a situation where Yubel would initially get sent to the stars, but then come back and then end up in the real world, but basically be a regular dual monster spirit, you know, just like Winkaribo. Yeah, that would still actually work. So in which case, yeah, just forget everything I said about that whole sequence of events in the Night Shroud duel. It would just play out the same way. So yeah, Yubel would still be around, but Jaden wouldn't have the powers that Yubel bestow on him, so to speak. So yeah, basically the duel between Jaden and Night Shroud plays the same way, leaving really the only difference being he doesn't have any special superpowers granted to him. But I think would still find a way to prevail anyway, regardless. Yeah, that's really the only difference. But yeah, that's going to do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed.